Hey car owners, Brian here, your honest mechanic. Today we will be looking at the 7 common symptoms of a bad alternator. If you've ever been stranded with a dead battery, you know the importance of a healthy charging system. So, let's cut to the chase and talk about the symptoms of a failing alternator. But before we get started, please do me a favor, press that like button and subscribe if you want more straight-talking car advice. Alright, first things first, let's quickly cover what an alternator actually does. Think of it as your car's mini power plant. It takes mechanical energy from the engine and converts it into electrical energy. This powers all your car's electrical systems and keeps your battery charged. A good alternator should produce between 13.5 and 14.7 volts when the engine's running. Anything outside this range spells trouble. For you DIY folks, watch out for OBD codes P0562 low voltage and P0563 high voltage output. These are red flags for alternator issues. Here are the signs of a bad alternator. 1. Stalling or difficulty starting. If your car is struggling to start or stalling frequently, your alternator could be the culprit. Remember, the alternator keeps your battery charged. If it's not doing its job, your battery won't have enough juice to start the car, and once you're running, a bad alternator might not be able to keep the engine's electrical systems powered, leading to stalling. 2. Inconsistent exterior and interior lighting. The second sign of alternator trouble often shows up in your vehicle's lighting system. You might notice your headlights, dashboard lights, or interior lights dimming or fluctuating in brightness, especially at idle. This occurs because the alternator isn't consistently supplying enough power to maintain steady illumination. A quick test: while idling, observe your headlights in a reflection. If they're pulsing or dimming, it's a red flag. Rev the engine slightly. If the lights suddenly brighten, it indicates your alternator is struggling to produce sufficient power at lower RPMs. 3. Battery warning. Light. Most modern cars have a battery warning light on the dashboard. Here's a little known fact. This light often indicates an alternator problem, but it can be a battery issue. If this light comes on while you're driving, it's time to take action. Don't assume it'll go away on its own. That's a recipe for getting stranded. 4. Electrical issues. If your car's electrical accessories start acting up, pay attention. We're talking slow power windows, malfunctioning power seats, or a radio that cuts out. These might seem like minor annoyances, but they're actually your car crying out for help. The alternator can't keep up with the demand, so non-essential systems are the first to suffer. 5. Whining noise. Listen up, because your alternator might be trying to tell you something. A failing alternator can produce some weird noises. You might hear a growling or whining sound from under the hood. This is often due to a worn-out bearing in the alternator. 6. Dead battery. Now, you might think a dead battery is just, well, a dead battery. But if you've recently replaced your battery and it's dying again, don't be too quick to blame the battery. A failing alternator can't properly charge your battery, leading to repeated dead battery situations. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much water you put in, it'll keep draining out. 7. Burning smell. The last, but not least common symptom of a bad alternator is a rubber burning smell. A failing alternator can overheat, causing the belt to slip and create that burning smell. It's not just unpleasant, it's a warning sign. Ignore it at your own risk, because you could end up with a much bigger and more expensive problem on your hands.